I got my first pending yesterday.
Yay!
A lot of offers, so it feels good because got a lot of practice with that. So.
How many times did they write?
This person actually only wrote 2. Other people have wrote more, but this particular person I met, it was an ISA set, and we did a Zoom like a month ago.
Yeah.
It was in Ohio.
Yeah.
So we met Saturday and wrote Sunday.
Okay, so so he wrote on 2 houses?
Yeah.
The first one, what happened?
We lost it. It was just a better offer. It was a multiple offer situation, so we knew going into it we were up against a lot. So.
Yeah. Was he willing to play ball in the first one, or was it like, hey, let's kinda?
Yeah, we did a couple things. We did like the pastel inspection. We did a few things, but he didn't have too much money to work with.
Yeah. But the second one we got.
Easy, yeah.
Easy peasy, knock on wood. You still got to get through inspection. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. By the way, we haven't talked about that, but with reload business, this is when people are starting to make those moves, right? Kind of end of Q3, Q4, Q1. So you start to see the reload business, and that's a really motivated client. So good job. Where in Ohio is he moving from?
Columbus.
Columbus. Okay. Well, welcome to the good side, sir.
Yeah, he's really happy. He texted me, "I'm ready to get the fuck out of Ohio." So I'm like, "Let's go."
That's how I feel every time I'm there. Sorry for you guys that are from Ohio. Yeah. Sorry. That's how I feel every time I'm there. Fucking Ohio. Anyway, all right. Good one. Good job. Good job. Good over stuff. Good job. Okay. Any more? Janae. I hear you. Hold on one second. You. Janae with the patent leathers. Let's go.
So it didn't dawn on me that I have, I will have 10 clients in total, including my 5 appointments that I had set. So I have 3 VAs signed from my SOI, and then I have 2 more that's coming on, which I'm supposed to get my numbers coming up, but it's too windy. So I have 2 more coming on. They want me to do for a seller appointment to sell. And then I have the 5 appointments that are coming in. So
good on you. Good job. How long have you been here?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you getting this influx of SOI? You getting it out on social media, or what are you doing?
Well, so SOI, I have a few people that I was talking to like beforehand, just kind of prepping them and letting them know, hey, I'll be a realtor, just kind of going in that way. And then also social media as well. I've been posting just like Monday Mayhem stuff, different things like that. And
yeah.
There, a lot of people are saying, okay, finally I have somebody I can trust, and they're willing to work with me.
By the way, the trust is a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like sometimes it's less about the knowledge and more about the trust. Especially, man, it's great. What the 5 that you set yesterday? Where did they come from?
That was from Moneymaker, actually.
All Moneymaker.
All Moneymaker. Yeah. 3 of them was follow up, and then the other 2 was just 2 that I was able to catch. So
perfect.
From Moneymaker, good, yeah.
Perfect. What a great day. Congratulations. Really great day. Good job. Really good job. Hugh, good morning, sir. What you got?
Hey, I guess big shout out to the ISA. I picked up 2 great listings Friday. One of them goes live this coming weekend, 4-bedroom, West Bloomfield. They're relocating. It's going on the market quick. And then next week, we've got just an incredible Royal Oak property. It's like $800K, built in 2022. This thing's like better than new. Just a really great property. And then ironically, when it was in between appointments, I got a call from a long-term follow-up, probably a year and a half, that they're finally ready to go, and met with them on Sunday and signed them to a 350 in Ann Arbor. There's just a cute little property about a mile from the stadium. So,
man, that's amazing. So what was the holdup? You've been following up with them for a year and a half. What changed?
Initially a little bit of money, and then probably 6 months ago, I don't know what happened. The wife ran into some kind of medical stuff, and I had to take some time off, and I'd still follow up with them periodically. And then literally just out of the blue, she called and said, hey, we wanted to make sure we were ready to go. We'll have our pre-approval on Monday. We went out and looked for property Sunday, did, VA, and got them. They're going on the market next week.
Awesome. So do you find them a house? Are they writing or what?
They think they're going to wait. The one they were looking at needs a lot of work, a little overpriced, but their stuff finally starting to pop on the market. They're actually, this woman is like incredible. She knows every house that's in the neighborhood because they want to be in a specific area. And she just feels like it's a little overpriced, but she feels good. More stuff is finally coming on because she's seeing the same thing, that the inventory is starting to pick up.
Hey, you've dealt with a couple of these situations where somebody wants to be in a really specific location, maybe even they have something to sell. Like, what's your strategy going forward on this? How are you navigating this?
I mean, I always have their search set up, and literally like once or twice a week on those, I'll check to see if something pops and keep them informed. And it's just really just staying on top of it, right? Like not falling off, that you actually have to like look regularly to see if you can find something the minute it pops.
Yeah.
But I have like, I've been lucky with a couple of mine where they're like so on top of it. It's like they got all their searches set up and they're sending me it before I even get a chance to look. So
staying top of mind, staying in front of it, and just waiting for something to pop.
Yep.
Yeah.
All you can
Good.
do.
Good on you. Good job, Hugh. Good job. Good job. Holy shit, business flying everywhere. Good job, guys. Anybody else? Okay, good. Okay, you want to talk about SOI?
Just a reminder.
Okay, here.
Quick reminder, a lot of you did it, but if you're in the SOI program, the content days are Thursday and Tuesday. I didn't give you much notice, sorry. Downtown Detroit, we have a really cool new build community, and there's actually like there's 2 models and then 1 other unit that we have access to film in, so it's going to be really cool. But don't forget to pick your day. Like 15 of you have picked a day, but a lot of you haven't. So friendly reminder, the link is in the Slack. Go pick your day today so I can get calendar invites out.
Perfect. Cool. Good. Any questions on that? Easy. Okay. Hey, can I do some mindset stuff with you real quick? I found myself down a rabbit hole this last week from an economist named Thomas Sowell. A little bit about him. He, like, older guy, born in 1930. He's a prominent African-American economist, University of Chicago educated, pretty famous guy, and tends to have like a bit more of like conservative kind of economic theories. Matter of fact, he was prominent like in the Reagan era with right, some of the Reaganomics stuff and stuff like that. So he was instrumental in some of that stuff, but really interesting guy. And he's got this really famous quote, and I want you to write it down. And I'm just spinning it. You ever like hear something and you just spin it in your brain? And so here's what his quote was. God, I'm going to screw it up. Can I just read it? I'm just going to read it. His quote is, so Thomas Sowell, S-O-W-E-L-L, there are no solutions, only trade-offs. There are no solutions, only trade-offs, is the quote. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. I tend to think of things in like analogies or in more colorful language. So like my brain went to a place where it was like same ingredients, same cake. Same ingredients, same cake is another way that, and I think it's a little bit different, but kind of in the same vein, same ingredients, same cake. Here's another way to say that same ingredients, same cake statement is do what you've always done, get what you've always got. Right? Do what you've always done, get what you've always got. Does that make sense? That's all pretty self-explanatory. Here's where my brain went with there's no trade-offs, there's no solutions, only trade-offs. Look, if you want something different out of your life, there's got to be sacrifice to do it. There's got to be sacrifice to do it. So like, for instance, if you want to have a six-pack, you can't be eating Oreos at 10 o'clock at night, right? If you want, maybe you could do it every once in a while. I got into some birthday cake Oreos last night, but I also don't have a six-pack. There you go. There you go. If you if you like it's so here's the thing is we're brought up with this, or not brought up, but like all of us experience these different things in our life, and like in all these different experiences in our life start to position ourselves who we are. It starts to create our programming. I talk a lot about programming. Programming shows up in a lot of different ways, by the way. It's like the way, like, look, if you were spanked as a child, you're far more likely to spank your kid as an adult. That's your programming, right? Or if Thanksgiving dinner always, you think about dinner at your house, like you guys had the same routine, that starts to become your programming. Like that's how we were raised. How you were raised starts to become your programming. And so the way that you're programmed about things impacts then the way that you think about the world, right? And the way that you think about the world creates the action that you do or don't take, or how you act within the world. And then those actions creates results, right? And so then those results, if you actually pause and reflect on it, it's gonna anchor in your programming more, or it's gonna cause you to change your programming, right? And then boom, the whole thing circles again, right? And so he was talking about this with economic policy, but the reality is look, some of you guys want to make more money, but you're up till midnight playing around on TikTok. Or some of you guys want to make more money, but you don't have the discipline around your time. You don't honor your time the way that somebody that's worth millions does, right? Some of you guys want look, you want better relationships, or you want a different friend circle, but then you make the choice to go out drinking on a Friday night, right? By the way, I'm not hating on it. I used to love to dance. Still love to dance. Anyway, I do. Invite me to a wedding. You'll see. Anyway, but like, do what you've always done, get what you've always got. Same ingredients, same cake. There's no solutions. You don't get both. You know what I'm saying? You ever looked at a situation and gone like, man, hey, do you want this or this? And you go, well, I kind of want both. You don't get both. There's always a trade-off. Does that make sense? Right? By the way, the context in which that I was learning about it this week was just our border policies. It's like, sorry to go political, but like the border policies is, hey, we need more people that can work and do some of the jobs within our country, and yet the trade-off there is we don't have a defined border policy that's actually impactful. So it was like very interesting for me to kind of digest that, whether my political views or not. It was interesting for me to digest. Anyhow, does that make sense? Anybody thinking anything around that? Anybody thinking anything like that? What are you thinking? Go. I got you, sir. Hold on. Let me find the other mic.
I don't have a real big statement. I think that when I look at sports, I always say that the work behind the show is important. So winners' work is really my take on it. I came from a racing background, and there's thousands and thousands of hours riding in the rain, doing sit-ups at night, eating the right things when I wanted to be at a party. And there's junk food, and it's like, gotta have salad.
Yeah.
But you can't be a state champion unless you act like one.
Man, you triggered a thought with me. If I could share it. By the way, this is great. Like winners work, they do the work. You could even write this down. Talent is a commodity. By the way, what's a commodity? You guys know what a commodity is? Like a gallon of milk is a commodity. They're everywhere, right? Or a thing of bleach is a commodity. Or McDonald's are commodities. They're everywhere, right? Talent is a commodity. Like every single one of you guys is super talented at something, right? Like super talented at something. Far more talented than somebody else at something else. So talent is a commodity. We all have talent, but it's the people that roll up their sleeves and do the work. That's the people that get ahead, right? How many people do you guys know in your life that are super talented and have done nothing? Right? It's like, you raise your hand so fast. We're surrounded by those people, right? I got it. Man, I have an uncle. He passed away a few years ago. It's my stepdad's brother. And I swear to God, the man had an IQ of like 170. You ever talk to somebody that's so smart that's just like, holy shit, who is this person, right? But could never get it together because he could never hold down a job because the rules didn't apply to him, or like, you know, didn't do the work, or didn't want to do the extra step, or didn't want to do the extra things. And so the talent just went wasted, right? On the flip side, God bless him, I've got another friend. I'm not going to say he's dumb as rocks, but it's close. It's close. But he makes the most money out of anybody that I know, because he works harder than everybody that I know. He's just got that Mamba mentality. He's just hitting it at 4 or 5 in the morning. He's just built different, right? And you think about it. So the other thing that this applies, sorry I'm off on all these tangents, but I just keep spinning this thought in my head. It's like one of the other things that I say is like things happen very slowly and then all of a sudden, right? And so like this dude for 10 years straight put in 2 hours more of work every single day and just boom, took off like a rocket. Does that make sense? There's like no overnight successes. It takes a minute and pop. So anyway, it's a really good thought. Anybody else thinking anything? No solutions, only trade-offs.
Yeah. I was listening to Mel Robbins last night, go figure, as a newbie in boot camp.
Which one, by the way?
How not to screw up your life or something like that.
Oh, pretty good. That sounds like Mel. Yeah. Don't screw up your life. Good one, Mel.
The important takeaway for me was that you have 5 seconds to act on an impulse. Right? And so I get impulses every day, all the time.
Yeah.
And so, and she mentioned that if you don't act within the 5 seconds, then the opportunity is gone, or actually you even forget.
Yeah.
So, and that has happened to me. So I have just a story about a cousin that everybody thought was a failure. He lives out on the West Coast. And because our family has been, educationally focused, right? Go to college, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of the mantra even of the country for the last, I don't know how many years. And so he became a HVAC technician.
Yeah.
And of course, all was lost. He's this trades guy. Well, for whatever reason, he's in LA area and became a ice manufacturer.
Okay.
And now he's probably a millionaire manufacturing ice.
Yeah.
And selling ice. And as simple as that seems, he was able to branch out from there, right? So not only he's selling ice, he does ice sculptures, he furnishes ice to all the big parties that happen out there and all that stuff. So he's able to charge a premium and for whatever he does, but he's really making it.
Yeah.
And so as we do something that we like, he really liked HVAC, obviously, and there's a number of studies, many studies that talk about going for the money grab versus doing something you love.
Yeah.
And the people that, coming out of, let's say, Harvard or whatever, that are going for the money, they tend to plateau at some point. The person that does what they love, the money comes.
Yeah.
Naturally. They make a lot of money, and actually they're much farther ahead as far as career and income than the people that want to get a high-paying job right away.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to get into real estate, because it looks like something that I could love doing. Don't have to worry about the money. The money will come, and then we get to help people in the meantime. But it's just interesting how, if you don't act, then sometimes the opportunity is gone. It has to, it's just based on, I don't know if it's biology or whatever, but within that 5 seconds, that was very impactful for me. That you get an idea, you get 5 seconds to do it, and then the energy that it takes to do it is the same amount of energy of getting up out of the bed in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's
It's really, I actually say it to myself all the time. I go, that's what I do, right? If I got to do something, I go, ah. And then I go, all right, come on, man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rocket ship. And I just go, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rocket ship. I say it to myself. By the way, I'm going to go even a little more micro with your analogy, and I really love this analogy. Okay, so this guy decided that he's going to be a he's going to be an HVAC, and he's got passion around it, and then it transitioned to the ice business, right? Wait, you guys, if you were in the ice business, is there some shit that really sucks about being in the ice business? I don't know anything about the ice business, but like, okay, you got to be cold. Machines are breaking down all the time. You got grumpy ass customers. You deliver this giant block to somebody that's going to sculpt it, and then it breaks as it's coming off the truck. It's, your machine broke, and so then, someone's ice luge at their wedding gets screwed up. I don't know anything about the ice business, right? I immediately go to liquor shots on an ice luge. Great. Anyway, but like, there's a million things that really suck about the ice business, I would imagine, right? It's like, okay, pro athletes. It's like you see that guy hitting the free throws or hitting the threes, or like you see the adulation or whatever it is, but what you don't see is that guy in the gym at 4 a.m, and you don't see like he can't go out to eat because he's this fucking 6'10" man with all this, you know what I mean? And he can't go out to eat. You can't drive a car. You can't. There's some trade-offs there, right? It's like there's things that suck, but they're the means to an end, correct? And I don't care what the profession is, right? And so sometimes what we aren't willing to do is we aren't willing to get through the sucky part to get the glory. Does that make sense? And I don't care what you decide to do for a living, there's going to be sucky parts to get to the glory. By the way, I'm a dad. That shit sucks sometimes. But I get to watch 2 beautiful children grow up. And I don't know anything more meaningful in my life than that. And God forbid I have an extra Long Island the night before. And I haven't drank Long Islands in so long. It's a bad analogy. But somebody hands me a Long Island, shame on you. Anyway. And they're getting me up at 6 a.m, or they're throwing up on their bed, or they're fighting me because they want to play Mario, or. There's some things that really suck about parenthood. But dude, the payoff is good, isn't it? You parents. I mean, it's beautiful. And to get to experience that love. And there's things in your life, no matter what that is. Hey, you guys, I'm not even going to say making phone calls sucks. I'm going to say making the first phone call sucks. Right? You sit there in front of the desk and you get yourself organized, and you feel a little tight in the chest, and then I know I got to get to work. I know I got to do this, and then you brush it off, and then you end up on your email, you end up on your text, and you end up calling your friend, and you end up on Facebook, and right? Oh, I'm going to do laundry, or you don't even like laundry. You end up doing all this other stuff instead of just doing the thing, instead of just eating that frog. Does that make sense? I promise you, the craziest thing about the Monday Mayhem, by the way, we set, what was it, 123, 124? 24. Someone just didn't write it?
Yeah.
Well, that's confusing. I almost just want to write it in. We set 124 appointments as a group yesterday in 6 hours. 124 appointments. Give it up for these people. That's huge. Like Ruthie, I'm going to interview you in a minute. 18, it tied a record. Stephanie, 10. And Mark, you were 5 and 6 kind of back-to-back weeks. And Perna's in there setting appointments. And I'm just telling you, the focus in on that is going to pay off big time. Does that make sense? There's no trade-off. There's no solutions, only trade-offs. You can't get there without doing that. Does that make sense? Anyway, I keep spinning it. I hope I landed the plane a little bit. Anyway, anybody else get anything? It's a great analogy. Go.
I'll say, when I was a teacher, the school that I was teaching at, we practiced choice theory.
Yeah.
Which is you always have a choice, no matter what. A lot of people will use excuses, but you have a choice.
Is this an actual educational theory? It's called choice theory?
Choice theory. Yeah. So you've talked about that with kids. So when you put your kids down to sleep at night and they're going crazy, you have a choice. You can either go to bed and get a story, or you have this. And so yesterday, the choice was just showing up. You get up in the morning, I'm tired, I'm just going to stay home and make my calls. Instead, or you could have had the choice of coming in here and having the enthusiasm and making that choice.
Yeah.
So you can, kids would always challenge you, well, no, I don't have a choice. You have a choice no matter what. You can do this or you can do that, no matter where you are in life.
Yeah.
You can have all these bad things happening in your life, but you can make the choice to do something different.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, can I tell you your choice that you wake up and make every day in real estate? Every day. Every day. Perna makes this choice every day, I promise. Here's your choice, ready? You can either get up and hit this shit as hard as possible and do the damn work every day, right? Or you can go get a job. That's the choice you make every day in real estate. Because you're either doing the work or you're unemployed in real estate. You know what I'm saying? There's no backdrop. You either hit that thing with an enthusiasm, Jim Harbaugh, an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, or go get a job. Please, save yourself the trouble. This is a cutthroat business, yes? This is a hard business to make it in. Now, the payoff is huge. When you get good at real estate, it's amazing. You could take vacations, you get the free time, you have the money, you can invest, you can build wealth, you grow as a person. This is the most amazing business. I love this business. But if you don't hit it every single day, just go get a job. Just go get a job. You're good. Save us all the trouble. Save yourself the trouble, please. Does that make sense? Well, that's the choice that you make every day, right, Perna? Whether or not you realize it or not, you've just trained yourself to do it every day. Yeah, it's good. It's a really good choice theory. I like that. I need to learn about choice theory. I do it anyway. Okay, you can either keep hitting your sister or anyway. All right. Okay, can I have Ruthie, Stephanie, Mark?
And surprise, Luke.
And surprise, Luke. I didn't tell you. Come on. I didn't tell you. Come on. Come on, go.
I was like, do you want to just surprise him? And Austin's like, yeah.
Yeah, I love surprising people. Not only am I surprised you, I'm going to make you go first.
So I'm colorblind and I can never see you people that are like red. So I'm like, oh, you're red. I can't.
You're colorblind? What does that look like?
Red.
It looks like red.
It's like shades of colors.
Huh.
So like green, brown, and some reds.
You always look so good for being colorblind.
No shit.
You gotta wear I wear a couple colors.
But you have to be very neutral now. That
Always
you
very
mention it, yeah.
You're very neutral. Your wife dresses you?
No.
No?
She criticizes when I put on first, and then.
She does? Get her on the phone right now. No, I'm kidding. Hey, Luke, I put you up here. Can we congratulate Luke? Luke just hit executive agent. Give him a... We were like debating back and forth. We were like, has anybody done it faster? Like, he's pretty cdon't.
97% sure.
97%, like you're in the conversation. How about you're in the conversation?
Sure.
If it's important to you, we could really look it up. I don't.
Okay.
Anyway, congratulations, man. How long you been in real estate now?
I'm coming up on 2 years. I think I got my license like end of October.
End of October.
So I joined
Yep.
the team around then, early November or something like that.
Yep. I just spoke a lot about like things happen very slowly and all of a sudden. Did that kind of happen for you?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, my biggest advice is just trust the process. It's gonna it'll come, just little by little. It's just going to happen. You just have to trust that it's going to happen and just be in for the long haul. You're gonna have good months, bad months, and it will happen. You just got to do the work every day and keep coming back.
Yeah. What was your first I need to tell the story, and I know some of you guys have heard the story over and over and over, but I think it's important to hear. Like, talk about your first 90 days, 6 months, year and a half. Like, just can you talk about the trajectory a little bit?
Yeah, I think my first. So I started. We had a Monday Mayhem. I think it was the first one we did. Was like middle November. It was like that November, December. So I just joined the team, so it's perfect. So just coming in here. I didn't set a lot of appointments because I didn't have a big pipeline yet, but
yeah.
I think that was big. Just 4 weeks of just dialing the ponds. Just my goal was just to build a pipeline. Like I knew it would take 6 months to. I'd be lucky if I got a paycheck in the first 6 months, or not lucky. I'd be happy. I'd just be whatever comes is just kind of extra. My goal was, have a good first year. I knew that second half of the first year would hopefully, backfill some of that start, right? So I don't think my first closing was until like March.
So how many months?
Probably about 5 months.
5 months for one paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a couple right around then, and then from then it was definitely gradual and it grows, but it wasn't like this, right? It's like this, and it's a little spike, and then it's kind of like this, and it's like a spike, and then so you can't get discouraged if you don't. Like I didn't have like a huge last summer. I think Charity just told me. She said I think this summer I've had a big
This past quarter.
This past quarter, you said I had like 11 closings or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
she's like, that's probably your best. I'm like, it's for sure my best. I think I have like 25-ish total, maybe 30, I don't know.
So first closing took 5 months. Do you know ballpark how many closings you had first year?
First year, yeah, it was right around 12, I think.
So kind of 1 in 5 months, and then basically like 2 a month after that, give or take.
Yeah, end of the year, and then I had a really like dry like January, like beginning of this year. Like I had like the first quarter was, I think I had a closing early January. I didn't have another one until maybe like March.
Yeah.
Or something. But just again, trust the process. This whole winter, I was just taking appointments and just always make sure I'm out when conversations came in. Thing I've never not been on appointments.
Yeah.
So just make sure I'm always just kind of, and I'm getting to the point now finally where I do kind of, and Sadie will talk about, do you feel overwhelmed? Like, no, I'm good. Like I am getting to the point now with, I got a newborn baby too. It's like, where I'm, okay, maybe I could like, I maybe could focus more on some of my clients, or I'm worried I'm getting some of that time pulled back from them, but it took 2 years to get to that point, right? And that was just always hitting it, right? 5 days a week, weekends. Again, I take vacations. I've done plenty of vacations, but when I'm working, like I'm working.
You're lasered in. It's interesting to me that you had your best closing quarter directly after having a baby. What happened there? You didn't have the baby.
I did not have the baby.
Just want to make sure I don't get yelled at by the ladies. Yeah, you didn't have the baby, but yeah.
I think it was just all that work just up to it, right? I don't think anything. I had some sphere of influence clients that kind of popped off around the same time but it's a built-in SOI program, just always just being on social media, talking to them, showing up to events with family and friends and stuff, and not being a secret agent. And again, you're right, just kind of build, and I don't think it was anything specific about having the baby and needing to go work harder. It was just kind of like all the work I put in up to that point, where even when I wanted to take some time off, it was still just like, focus, just making sure I'm touching all the people, all my clients, making sure I'm not just completely falling off of it, and stepping back, but just still taking even an hour a day if I had a really busy day, just making sure I'm staying on top of like the clients that I need to.
You still don't want to tell me I'm right, asshole. Anyway, no, I'm teasing. I said to Luke, you're having a baby? He said, yeah. I was like, man, you're about to make money. And you're like, just do the same thing I always done. And then he has his best closing right after, his 11 closings the quarter after having a baby. You laser in. It's good. It's good. Congratulations, man. It's really cool. Do it. Yeah. Luke, you're the best.
He is the best.
You're the best.
I use Luke a lot as an example of consistency. When he started, like, I pull up reporting on people's calls and stuff like that, and Luke was always just like a straight line, where other people are like this. And Luke was always consistent, always just like, never like real emotional, just like, it's gonna happen.
It is kind of the best. Even when a deal's going sideways, you're like, okay, all right. Yeah, it's good. Congratulations, man. Give it up for Luke. Good job, buddy. Can you give the microphone to Ruth? What did I miss?
It was just for the end.
I just didn't know where I wanted to go.
And neither one of them wanted to make eye contact with you.
I know, the two of you can't stop talking back there, but I'll put you up here. You're like, man, so is that official? She tied a record? Tied a record for the most appointments set on Monday Mayhem, and we're pretty sure 97%, somewhere in there. All right, we're the record, just like your record. I was like, maybe it might be a record. I don't know. Anyway, give it up for Ruth. Good job, Ruth. And you just graduated launch?
Yes.
Like this is week 7?
No, I graduated launch 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, week 8?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Week 10, sorry. I'm screwing it up. You know the math. Anyway. Okay, so, man, tell me what you did to lead up to this, and tell me what happened yesterday.
So I've just been really consistent with the buyers that I have. I've been really available for them. I'm just out showing houses like all day from like 9 in the morning till 9 at night. Just being there for them, staying consistent, making sacrifices, not going out to eat, just being there for my clients.
So you're super lasered in, your calendar's open, all you're doing is like, hey, look, I got to make this thing, I got to get it up and running, and it's paying off. Okay, so you did boot camp, and then your first kind of during launch and My 100 and all that stuff. Can you talk to me about what like day-to-day looked like for you and what you were doing to build a pipeline?
So I was really consistent about making the phone calls. Wendy was a great coach. She kind of like helped me along the way and told me what I needed to do and how to get there. So I was just really consistent. Didn't let up off that, making the calls.
Yeah. How many calls were you making a day?
I would try to make at least 100, but sometimes I would make more. I was focused more on getting conversations in, so I wanted to get a certain number of conversations every day. So however many calls it took to get to that, that's what I would focus on.
So it wasn't about calls, it was how many people am I talking to?
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure I hit 120 conversations a month.
Okay. Okay, good. Do you know your best month, how many conversations you had?
I think it's this month,
Yeah.
actually, or like last month.
Yeah. Do you know how many you had?
About 134, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, good job. Success leaves clues, right? 134. It's like now you're sending all this stuff. Okay, so
48 last week. 41 last week.
yeah, 41 last.
Yeah, 41 or 40.
Good. Okay. And so, all right. So, how many people are you following up with in your follow boss right now that you've accumulated over the last 8 weeks?
Like 15 people.
So you've got 15 people total that you're following up with. How'd you end up with 18 appointments then?
I got a few people out of the pond yesterday.
So you were pulling people out of the ponds as well and setting appointments.
Yeah, because once I went through all my follow-up, I still, wanted to set more appointments, so I went into the ponds.
Perfect. Okay. You were in real estate before this. How long?
This is my 3rd year.
This is your 3rd year in real estate. Okay. What's? By the way, she was really cynical. It took us like a year to recruit you, didn't it?
No, it was like 6 months.
My God, it felt like a year to me. Anyway, between myself and Lori and Mike, we're just like, oh, Ruth, come on. Anyway, what? You just want to talk about the difference, like?
Oh, I mean, the difference is like night and day. So there was nothing wrong with where it came from. It was a great company, but it wasn't geared towards like newer agents like me. The training here is like immaculate. I mean, every single time I'm in here, I'm learning something new. The support is incredible. Seeing other people succeed, it's kind of been motivating me and inspiring me. It's like the banister, the 3-minute mile, or 2-minute, whatever. If you don't see it done, sometimes you don't believe you can do it. But once you see someone else do it, you're like, oh, well, I can do that.
So what would you? Yeah. So what would you say? Dang, Luke. What would you say to someone that's looking at your 18 appointments? Like, how in the world? Like, what would you say?
Just keep making the calls. Keep following up with your clients. Be available. Don't, you really have to put this first before anything else right now. And you have to have that mindset, like for the next year, I'm not going to have anything else going on. I don't care about hanging out with friends or going out to eat. I'm here for my clients right now. So I kind of look at it like I'm married to my business right now.
Building the business.
Yeah, just stay focused, keep calling, don't give up. If they don't answer, if they blow you off, just keep calling, keep calling. Eventually they'll meet with you.
How do you keep yourself from getting discouraged? I'm sure you've had some weird stuff happen and some bad conversations and stuff.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I literally been channeling Sadie. I've been channeling Sadie's energy, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes if I get discouraged, I'm like, well, I don't think Sadie would get bothered by this. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do because I look for inspiration. I'm new in the business. You guys are great at what you do. You've done it, and so I'm just trying to follow in the footsteps of people that have done it really well. So.
Good. Congrats. Cool. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, Stephanie, you're up.
Hi.
Okay. How many appointments did you set week 1 on Monday Mayhem?
6.
Okay, 6, and then yesterday was 10?
Yes.
Okay, and you guys were in the same class, right?
I was actually 1 boot camp ahead of her.
Okay, so you're 12 weeks?
Yeah.
Week 12, okay. And what did you do before this?
I was actually in the cannabis industry. I was not a real estate agent.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
So this is like brand new business to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
a manager, so it's just completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the room that look down like, oh, I thought I recognized her.
You're not the. There's somebody else, but it's not coming to my brain right. We have somebody else who started there too.
I've actually met a few different people that.
There's like 3 or 4.
It's very common that people don't like everybody's quiet about it.
Everybody's quiet about it. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
It was a good job, yeah. So, but like that goes with, I didn't love it. You know, it was.
Yeah.
I was working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. making great money, but it was just like torture. So this is actually something that I don't mind not having a social life and like giving stuff up because it's worth it. And I like it.
Yeah. Good. So what have you done to build up this pipeline? Because, dude, setting 10 appointments in a day, setting 6 appointments in a day is real. So what have you done to build up your pipeline? What does your day-to-day look like? You're obviously in the office a ton. Tell me what you're doing.
I always try to make around 100 calls a day. Like if I don't in one day, if I'm really busy, I'll try to make more the next day just to like continuously. I feel like there's success in repetition, and even if I'm not getting answers, like the more calls I make, I'll get there.
Yeah.
So I just try to be consistent with that. And then even if someone's like, oh, I bought a house a couple years ago, I'm like, great, do you like it? You know, and try to, if they're like, I might sell one day, I'm like, okay, pipeline, you know, and I'll follow up with them. And I try not to write people off that are immediately like, no, I try to facilitate a relationship.
Yeah. I think it's smart.
I think I've built a big pipeline just by Wendy knows at first I was not digging deep, and she kind of taught me to open up, ask more questions, like you're not annoying people. And once I started doing that, people opened up to me and they want to talk to me. Even like older people, they're like, oh honey, we have a house, but maybe my grandkids would want to. You're so nice. So just keeping people in my pipeline, following up with them.
I think a lot of people like struggle with that. Like, how did you get past that? Because you don't want to be nosy, you don't want to ask too many questions. So like, how did you get past that?
I mean, I just kind of knew what I wanted. I knew like what we were talking about earlier, like you have to get through that that's what I want. Like I want success with it, so I got to get good with this. And actually talking to other agents and knowing like everybody had a hard time with it was really real for me, because I'm like talking to people that are super successful and they're like, yeah, that my 100, like, you know, it's a doozer. So it just felt good once I got through it. I'm like, okay, like it's a learning process. Like you suck at everything at some point and then you just get better. So I just embraced it.
Was the My 100 hard at first for you?
I don't think it wasn't hard. It was just I was getting discouraged. Like I wasn't getting as much response. I just was getting a little discouraged. So once I hit the ponds and I started calling more people, it was like, oh, okay, like they're opening up to me. And then, I figured if I could get them to talk to me for a little bit, like I obviously want to hit that conversation. So like that was in my mind. And then in the same time, I'm making real relationships, and like that, it worked in my favor. Okay,
so you were focusing on building the rapport, building the relationship. It's really interesting. Success leaves clues. Every single one of these people talked about like really being consistent, kind of building that muscle. And Luke, you've done a great job of just continuing that muscle, and so that's a great habit to make. What's been the hardest part for you in real estate, getting in the whole thing? Like, again, like totally different industry. My guess is totally different than what you expected it to be like. So what's been the biggest challenge? What are you working through? How have you overcome it?
I think just discipline and structuring my day. I used to prioritize my social life like way more.
Yeah.
Like going out to dinner with my friends and doing stuff. And at first I was trying to balance all that, but I'm like, okay, I need to set aside a block in my calendar if I'm going to do that, you know, and like keeping everything really simple for my day. So I know at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this, and staying on schedule, that's been major for me.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, even at the beginning of last month, I took a little trip. My best friend had a baby, so I went to Arizona. And I came back and I started thinking about my conversations that I needed to hit for the month. And I'm like, oh my God, that set me behind so bad, just a few days. So I set the rest of my month out like, okay, this is what I need each week, and hit my goals.
So you're mapping out your consistency and hitting it.
Yeah.
Very good. By the way, it's like, see why this quote I was talking about earlier, like there's no solutions, only trade-offs. You're like, hey, look, I couldn't balance both. I was trying to balance both. I was trying to balance my social life and get this thing up and running, and I realized like, shit, I got to make the sacrifice. So I keep on just seeing it everywhere. So it's very interesting to me. What happened yesterday? Where you got 10? Where did these come from? How many were from follow-up? How many people are you keeping in your follow-up boss right now? How many came from the ponds? Tell me the story from yesterday.
Honestly, really honestly, yesterday it was all follow-up. I don't think I had one pond appointment, but I didn't hit the ponds until like 1 p.m., like that block. I was doing follow-up all morning. I have a lot of people in my follow-up boss, and I'm like, now I have like a deal I'm trying to start working on, so I was just having like really like long, meaningful conversations yesterday. But I had some really crazy ones with people I was following up with that I didn't even think they were gonna. I just wanted to clear my list. So it was people that I was like, yeah, this is hit or miss. And they were like, yeah, we'll meet with you. Like, just because I asked for the appointment. And I kind of tell them, even if you're a little farther out, it's okay. Like, I can get a good idea of what you want. And we'll, take another break of not seeing each other and meet again. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was all follow-up yesterday.
Just ask for the appointment, figure out a way to meet with them. It'll work out eventually. Good job. Good job, Stephanie. Good job. All right, Mark, you're up. What are you thinking right now?
I want to go back to my seat.
I pulled Mark aside. At least you got pulled aside. Luke just found out right now. At least he walked in. I was like, hey, I'm going to put you up there. He's like, what? Okay, how long you been on the team?
This is my 6th week.
This is 6th week. So this is like last week of launch.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
2 more, right?
Oh, shit. See, I'm screwing up my math. I know, I'm screwing it up. Sorry. Don't laugh at me, Luke. I'm doing my best. Math is hard sometimes. You're a dad now. You don't sleep. You know how it is. Anyway. Okay, week 1, you did Monday Mayhem. How many appointments? 5. And then week 2, 6. And really, you've been on the phone. So if it's your 6th week, you've been on the phone for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. See? That's good math. See? All right. Okay, man. And you've really hit the ground running. You've really, one of our core values is Cannonball Kids. You've hit the ground running. Tell me what you've been doing. Tell me what your mindset has been. Tell me what you've been overcoming. Just lay it out.
Well, I do things that make me nervous, right? Like being up here makes me nervous. But, I mean, the only thing that can come out of it is either embarrassment or a lesson.
Yeah.
Maybe both. But I've always tried to...
Or you're going to nail it.
Or
you're nailing
nail it.
Yeah.
Right. Which would be a lesson. It tells me I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do things that make me nervous. Like yesterday, I was telling Wendy, I met with this guy at his house, and I turn around, and he's got this big-ass snake around his neck.
Oh. What?
I don't do snakes.
Me neither.
I've never touched a snake. I've never held a snake. I don't want to be around a snake until yesterday. So I'm sitting there, and my heart is pounding. And I'm telling him, I'm like this. My knuckles are white. I'm like, man, I don't know. That snake's making me nervous. And he looked at me, and he was like, are you going to let the snake get in the way of, you making a couple $1,000? And I was like, no. So he stands up.
Puts it on you.
Puts the snake on me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, man. I can't believe it. I'm like, all right, hurry up, get a picture, and get it off. Got it off. He set it on the floor. My toes are up like this on the floor, so it doesn't come and wrap around my leg. I ended up sitting there for 2 hours, had a great conversation, a lot of laughs. He signed the BA, and it was my 5th BA.
He better sign the damn BA.
100%. Yeah, so I definitely put the pen in his hand. I was like, okay, I did my part. It's time for you to do yours.
Yeah.
And it's just doing stuff like that. Do I want to get on the phones and get rejected? No. But, I mean, how many times have I been rejected in my life doing other things?
I don't know. You're pretty handsome.
Well, it was a glow up. Man, I was a chubby kid. But, I just do stuff that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, it's just a lesson. And it helps me grow. And then, too, another thing is, every time you talk, and you make your way to the board, it's not over here, I shut up.
Yeah.
Because you give great insight, great lessons, and I use it on my calls, I use it with my clients, setting the appointments, a lot of the objection handlers that you teach. When I'm on the phone with people, most people don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Well, okay, yeah, no problem at all. I understand you're busy. And then, it's figuring out a way that I can call you back and continue with the conversation, or it's following up too. I mean, if you tell me, okay, call me back at 5 and you don't answer, okay, no problem. I'm going to call you at 5 again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you don't answer, okay, I'll send you a text the next day. And then at the end of the day, maybe you had something going on. I don't know what's going on in people's lives, but following up, eventually they're going to pick back up and either tell me to fuck off,
Yeah.
or they're going to say, okay, let's meet. I appreciate that you've been consistent. And like with that guy yesterday, he said, well, I'm kind of working with another agent. I said, when's the last time you spoke with them? He said, it's been a couple months. I said, I've called you every day this week. Who would you rather you work with?
Yeah.
And that's how it started. That's how I got to his house. So.
By the way, you guys that have been around for a while, this is how the young guys, this is how the new guys are stealing your clients, just so you know, right? They're on it. It's good, really good. What'd you do before this?
I was a club bartender downtown Detroit for the past 6 years.
Yeah. Oh, that checks, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
for sure.
Why am I giving you shit this morning?
That's all right.
Bartenders and servers are the best.
I'm telling you, man. What skills translate? What's been different?
Communication translates. My work ethic. I mean, I was working 50, 60 hours a week in the club.
Yeah.
With no room to grow.
Yeah.
Now I can work however many hours a week I want with exponential room to grow and really become something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's applying all that effort into myself rather than into someone else's business. Even though it's fun and it's cool and it's this and that, you get to party with me, it's great.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not setting me up.
Yeah.
And I want to set myself up. You know, I'm 27 now. I
Yeah.
want to go into my 30s and my 30s be the best years of my life.
Yeah.
I don't have any other responsibilities but my, payments. That's it. No kids, no girl. So, I'm just applying all my time to myself and I'm going to make the most of it.
Okay.
Definitely.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
It's really good. How many calls are you making every day?
I try to get to 100. Some days are better than others. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely 100 is the goal.
Okay. We're hitting it. Okay.
Mhm.
Good job. Give it up for Mark. Good job. Luke, take it back. Okay, so you're sitting. You're the old wise guy now. So these guys are all on their first. I know. Dude, that's just how the shit happens. I don't know what to tell
When
you.
you sit next to Audrey, doesn't she give you shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
How was Audrey not talking this entire meeting?
Well, Audrey was at the football game and lost her voice. So this is, see how smooth this whole thing's going? Beep, 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 beep. Look at you. Anyway. Okay, so you're sitting, like these guys are on it and they're being consistent. By the way, like success leaves clues. We're talking about consistency. All right, what's the old man advice that you'd give to these guys? They're all in their first quarter. They're all launching this thing up. What would you tell them?
I like what Mark just said here about doing things that, what do you say, make you nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because whether it's first you got to make calls, that's uncomfortable. Then you got to go into, meet people at a coffee shop or to, meet a buyer, that's uncomfortable. Then you get into listings, then you got to meet them at their house, that's uncomfortable. You got to sit there closing, and you don't really know what's going on. But then you do it a couple times, and then it becomes more comfortable. You got to still keep doing the uncomfortable things, whether that's making more calls or getting into higher price point clients or things. But always doing that is something that I think is.
Was along the same vein, like along the same lines, was there anything like, you've been doing this a couple of years now. Was there a moment that was like super uncomfortable for you, but as soon as you punched past it, you had growth? What was uncomfortable for you?
Doing listings, going to somebody's house, and you got to kind of control the room, the situation. Nothing gets too high or low. So
yeah. What made you uncomfortable about that?
It's just me. You don't know what it's just the unknown, probably.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to be like, what they're going to look like, what their house is going to look like, what their personality is going to be like. Are they going to let you control things? Are they going to, you're rocking into a really, I guess the price point when you go into it a little bit, but just the unknown, I would say. You don't really know what's going to happen. You have to control that and ask for the signature and answer questions. You don't know what they're going to ask you, so you have to. And that's true for any appointment, right? Even on a phone call, you don't know what they're going to ask you. You just got to be able to respond.
Yeah, I love it. By the way, amazing job, you guys. You guys are going to be around this morning a little bit. People have questions or whatever for you. Keep it up. Success leaves clues. Consistency. Get uncomfortable. Stay away from snakes. That's crazy. I've never been handed a snake and put up with it.
You gotta see the picture.
Really? Yeah, I can't wait to see the picture.
Put it in Slack.
Stephanie, good job embracing this thing. Ruthie, been doing this for 3 years, and and now you're taking off like a rocket. So good job. So give it up for these guys. Good job. Thank you.